My name is Dave Hansen. I'm glad to see you all here tonight. I'm chairman of the MIT Enterprise Forum. On behalf of the MIT Enterprise Forum of Texas and BioHouston, I'd like to welcome you to a wonderful program tonight on the advances of DNA testing and the impacts on genealogy, anthropology, and medicine. We're very pleased tonight to have Bennett Greenspan and Russ Capper be part of our program. Bennett Greenspan started the first commercial DNA testing company in the world for genealogy. People have been doing DNA testing before, but it was for research, it was for medicine, but nobody had done it for genealogy. And he was the first one that pioneered that, and he pioneered the area of genetic genealogy. So it's a real pleasure to have him here tonight, talking about the advances in the technology and also the impacts and what it was like to start the first company. And that's where we have Russ Capper here, who's going to interview Bennett and talk about that experience of starting that company. Russ Capper and I had the opportunity to tour Bennett's facilities in his company here last Friday. And I can tell you that I was impressed by the technology, the equipment, and what it takes. The instrumentation is so compact. They're using such small quantities for samples. Everything is roboticized and computerized. And to be able to analyze the extreme amounts of data and then post it on a very secure website on the internet that people can go to and find out the results. It's a very complicated operation and takes a lot of crossing the T's and dotting the I's to make sure that you do it right. But it was a real experience to see that whole operation. Before we get started tonight, I'd like to do two things. Many of you are not familiar with the MIT Enterprise Forum or BioHouston. I'd just like to spend a little bit of time talking about that. And then secondly, I'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors for making programs like this possible. To start off with then, let me just talk a little bit about BioHouston. BioHouston is a nonprofit corporation here in Houston. It was founded by academic and research institutions. And their purpose was to really promote biotechnology and the commercialization of biotechnology and medicine to make Houston one of the premier places in the world for new technology in that area. So we're very pleased to have teamed up with them for making this program. The MIT Enterprise Forum, we are associated with MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We were first started by MIT alums. We are one of 27 worldwide chapters today around the world, and our purpose is to put on great programs on technology, entrepreneurship, and economics. And we do this with flagship programs like you have here tonight. We also have new venture clinics for startup companies to come and present and perfect their presentations and their strategies. And then we have networking socials to get people together and just network and see what's going on in the entrepreneurial and technology scene. One thing I should mention as part of all this is you do not need to be an MIT alumni to be part of this organization. And I'm a good example of that. I never went to MIT. I'm the chairman. I went to Berkeley, and I'm a Berkeley radical, and they let me be chairman. But you do not need to be a MIT alum to be part of the organization or to be organizing. It was first started by MIT alums, but has evolved beyond that. I want to talk a little bit about our flagship programs. They are probably the hallmark of what we are all about and where we're unique in the Houston community. We have, and this is a good example of a flagship program. I wanted to point out some of the upcoming flagship programs. We've had fantastic programs in the future, fresh water, the cybersecurity threat with FBI and Homeland Security, future of fresh water we do with National Geographic. We've done on regenerative medicine with Houston Methodist Hospital. We had Professor Sadoway come in and talk about his new generation of grid storage batteries just last month. But we have some really great programs on interesting technology and entrepreneurship. In September, we have a program coming up on innovations in education. We're working with Bonnie Dunbar at the University of Houston, who's a former astronaut and is head of the STEM program. We're trying to get a top moderator, and we're working to get either Tom Brokaw or Dan Rather to be a moderator for our group. We're looking to have Solomon Khan come in and talk. We've got Inant Agarwal from MIT, who's president of edX, which is the MOOC organization, the massive online coursework for MIT and Harvard. He's scheduled to come here and be part of that. And we also have, we're getting speakers on early childhood education and what Finland has done to turn their educational program around, which is, what Finland has done has been pretty amazing. So it promises to be a very good program. We're going to be having actually two programs. One's going to be at the University of Houston in the afternoon. It'll be a free event, and then we'll have an evening program that will be recorded at the Channel 8 TV studio and then broadcast later on TV. So this will be actually our second program that we've had recorded and broadcast on TV. Our other one was on social entrepreneurship with Ashoka Fellows from around the world. So you can see we've got some great programs. Things that we're working on for the future are detecting killer asteroids that are on a collision course for Earth. We're working with Rusty Schweiger, the B612 organization. We're going to do another program, Future of Fresh Water, coming up. Looking to do that probably November or next spring. We have our business forecast luncheon coming up in January, which has been sold out for the last 3 years. We've got a vice president or senior economist from the Federal Reserve and Compass Bank talking about what's happened the previous year and what they expect to happen for the coming year. We've got a program coming up with Bill Higgs, who's one of the co-founders of Mustang Engineering. I don't know if you've been on I-10 and you're driving along I-10, you see these Mustang Engineering signs. They started from nothing and became the premier deep water engineering firm in Houston. And they're now, they've powered the Wood Group. But Bill's writing a book, and I've asked him to come in and talk about his experience of founding that company and what he did to make it grow so well. We've got programs in 3D printing, and we're looking at doing something with drones coming up. So all interesting topics for the future. So hope to see you at some of these future events. Now, like you see here tonight, we are trying to videotape our programs so that you can go back, look at them, and share them with other people who you think would be interested. Share them with your kids. I'd actually like to see more high school and college students come to some of these programs because the topics we're talking about, I think, are very inspiring. If you look through the list here, you see some pretty notable people up there. Bob Metcalf, Rod Canyon. We had Russ Capper actually interviewing Rod Canyon for that program. Rod said that was the best interview he's ever given on compact computer. And we've got it on videotape. So, and we just had Professor Sadoway come and talk about what his marvelous work with making a new grid storage energy battery. If you want to be, he is just an inspiring person. He's one of Time Magazine's top 100 people, most influential people in the world. His YouTube video has gotten 1.5 million views, and I hope that ours does too. But we've got some great programs in video. The Social Entrepreneur program that was broadcast on TV. Channel 8 really did a nice job in editing that. It was very professional. And I'd like to now bring up Darcy Grice, who's our sponsorship chair, and talk a little bit about our sponsors. So, Darcy.
I am so pleased to see so many of our sponsors here. We've got Comcast, thank you, Michael. We also have Wells Fargo, Patricia, thank you. We've got several others. If any of you would like to talk to us about whether it's sponsoring annually or per event, and I'm going to use Comcast as a perfect example. They saw an event that we did last year that they wanted to be a part of. MRE is one of our other sponsors that did the exact same thing. They also saw the value in becoming a sponsor, an annual sponsor. So don't feel like it has to be one or the other. It can be both. But I would love to talk to you about whether it's your company or a company that you know, being a part of MIT gets you literally a dotted line to Cambridge, as well as every event, every new venture clinic. We also want input from you all. What would you like to see? And we've been very fortunate that all of our sponsors have done just that. So please feel free to grab me or anyone on our executive committee to talk just a little bit further about what are the advantages and how we can help you and your business as a sponsor to MIT's Enterprise Forum.
If you don't see your company's name up there, think about it. It's a great organization to be involved with.